Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. I am so horrifically behind for NaNoWriMo. The only way I can possibly catch up at this point is if I write 10,000 words. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I have previously made a video talking about how I prepare for a 10k day, which I'll try and remember to link, but the essence of it is, don't just start a day and think, oh yes, I'm going to write 10,000 words. The lesson is kind of do all the preparing first, right? Like, you have to know what you're going to write, and you have to have nothing else happening around you. You have to have like meals prepared, the house clean, all the chores done, everything you possibly think of already done, so that you can't procrastinate or get distracted while you're doing your 10k. So that's the plan for today. I have already gotten up, gone for a walk to do some knee rehabbing, and on that walk I dropped off some books and some clothes for a donation thing. So now, while I'm walking around or generally occupying my space, I won't be seeing those items sitting there waiting to be taken out of the house. They are gone now, so that's done. I attempted to do a shop, but I forgot my grocery list. And the few items I could remember that I needed, I couldn't find because I went to an unfamiliar store. So, or maybe they just weren't in stock, but I felt like I went around and around and around and I couldn't find pickles. So I want to now get dressed and something else, go buy a couple of supermarket-y things. I also want to stop by the warehouse and see if I can get like a plant mister, because one of my plants is not doing too well, and I think it needs a mister, I think is the problem. I'll show you my plant. So this plant doesn't have very much in the way of a root system because it's a mossy rock, right? So, focus, come on. Focus. Okay, well, it's not going to focus, but anyway, green shit on a rock. But even though I had this in a vessel with soil and stuff, like it was just sitting on the soil, it wasn't drawing anything up. And I needed to have planted other stuff around it, and I just hadn't got around to it, I hadn't got around to it, I hadn't got around to it, which meant that there were no other plants pulling moisture up from the soil, so there wasn't as much moisture evaporating upwards and then condensing on the lid of the container and falling back down, as would be if there were other plants. So this, which can't draw up from the soil because it's not in contact with the soil, wasn't getting watered because there's nothing falling down on top of it. Now, I was pouring a bit of water on top of it, but I think a misting situation might be better than just me occasionally going, oh yeah, splash of water on the rock, which is basically what I've been doing. So I want to do that, but I also want to get something else for it to sit in because, I don't know, this doesn't seem right. If we can't find anything else for it to sit in, that's fine. I don't know. I would like it to be on something else though. Anyway, plant mister is the point. And we have to do that today because that rock is visible from my desk. And if I can see it on my desk while I'm trying to write 10k, I'm going to keep seeing it and think like, oh my poor thirsty life form, I have failed you. And I'll get really distracted and then I'll think, oh no, I should go buy a mister today. No, we're going to buy it today, so we don't buy it tomorrow. So, that's the plan. Costume change. I think this is actually the better hat, like it's more structured, it stays in this kind of up fashion, whereas this one, you can see it's much floppier. And so this one does this, which I actually really hate. I might actually rehome this hat. I guess it'll do. Shopping achieved. Also realised there's a game on. Hat stayed on beautifully, did not flop into my face. I think I will have to permanently retire the black hat, which I've worn all of once, and did not enjoy the experience. Okay. This is not as deep as what I wanted. And of course the very next shop I went into, they had something that was half the price and as deep as I wanted. So my thinking is, platter, little like very tiny thin layer of sand to kind of give the rocks somewhere to sit, and I'm going to put the big rock, the moss, and then little rocks for it to potentially colonise, because we have a little tiny attempt, probably can't see that at all, there's a little bit of greenery, attempting to escape onto a new rock. So I have other rocks I'm going to put around it, so hopefully we're happy with that and we can continue to colonise and grow, colonise new surfaces and grow anyway. Spray bottle. I was hoping to avoid plastic, but obviously that was pipe dream. Why did I think that would be a choice? And then groceries. Oh no, it's crushed. We have strawberries, we have pre-made salad, and we have unfortunate bread, because I only brought one bag with me. I should have brought two. But yeah, it's not as crushed as it could have been. Like, it's unhappy, but it's not inedible. I have also put a load of washing on, so now I have to do, I think I've got like 5 things to do as far as dishes, but we're going to get those done. We can't have things sitting around. Now, this is something in the making excuses to not have to cook territory, but potentially I could say, well, I've done the dishes, I don't have to redo this chore, I don't want anything sitting around tomorrow, I don't want to have to think about food tomorrow. I could get takeout tonight and then tell myself I'm going to break it into 2, eat half tonight and then have half tomorrow, and that way no extra dishes, no cooking, no having to think about food for tomorrow, it's done. However, first there is a game on. Potentially I'm not going to want to have to go out in the streets at a certain time, because then I'll be exposed to people who are coming away from the game. It'll also be queues and things, so takeout might be an unpleasant choice. And the other truth of the situation is, you know, I'm just going to eat the whole thing tonight. So I have 30 minutes for the washing machine. I could have a rest. That might be nice. I could vacuum. Vacuuming's a job I don't like to do late because of paper thin walls. So if I'm going to get that done, I should probably get it done sooner rather than later. I'm also really keen to get my plant all settled. And I don't want to, again, be doing that really late at night, because potentially it could be quite messy and I might end up having to vacuum again. So I should probably do the plant and then the vacuuming. But I'm quite hot. So a sit might be good. It is 8:59, my glasses are smudged, and I have not done the usual stuff that I do at the beginning of a 10k day. Normally by now I would have done at least a 1 hour workout, had a shower, blah blah blah. However, yesterday's walk, for the purposes of trying to get my knee working better, has made it that my knee's a bit hurty today. It's fine, I can stand, I can walk, but when I first climbed down the ladder from my loft space this morning, I was like, ow, 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 and that makes me a bit cautious about doing too much this morning. Also, I stayed up until 2 a.m. because I'm an idiot. I haven't done that part of the plan, but it's now 9 a.m, so I'm going to do some writing. I'm going to set a timer for 2 hours is usually how long I would write for a 10k day, so I'm going to set timer, which is probably a little bit excessive given that we're starting on the hour. Well, it's now 9:01, but you know. Aside from being just generally a little bit cautious about my knee, I need to be kind of extra cautious for today because for the first time ever I'm doing a 10k day at a standing desk. So I may actually just tap out due to like physical capability as opposed to mental capability. I guess we'll see which one lasts longer. So starting the day already tired with a sore knee that I've just aggravated with exercise, probably not a good idea. But anyway, the document is open. Here we go. It is now 11 o'clock. I did have a couple of little distractions during that 2-hour slot, but nothing horrendous, just like, you know, getting a drink and that kind of thing. Now, I think I forgot to mention at the beginning, is my camera crooked? Oh no, I think it is. What I hate is that it's really easy to get the tripod steady because it has like a little bubble, but the camera itself, you can't level, like it is actually just up to your eyeballs to determine. Like, my eyeballs aren't reliable. Give me a bubble for the camera, not the stand it's on. Or both, that'd be nice. Anyway, so I started today on 6,622 words. I am now on 9,326. And I'm feeling pretty damn good. So, this tells me that I wrote 2,704 words in 2 hours with a few interruptions. I am still very behind. So, we're less than 10,000 words and today I'm supposed to be on 21,000. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, having a break at 11 is weird because it's supposed to be the plan is, like the 10k schedule for myself is 2-hour blocks before midday. That's not going to work. So what I think I'm going to do is have a shower, and then I'll do some more writing, and perhaps I'll make the second writing time less than 2 hours, maybe like an hour, hour and a half, so that I can take a lunch break in the middle of the day and not at like mid-afternoon kind of thing. I think that's what I need to do. So, yeah. I think that's all I have to say. Cleanliness achieved. It is 11:30 and I am hungry. So if I write for 2 hours, I'm going to be starving. I had been thinking I could write for like an hour and a half. Like, that puts lunch at around 1, that seems reasonable, but oh my god, I am starving. I could take a break. I probably should take a break and sit down actually. This is my other thinking about the whole standing desk situation, is that am I actually quietly hurting myself by being on my feet for that amount of time? And because I spent my break having a shower, I was on my feet during my break. I actually haven't sat down at all since I got out of bed this morning. So perhaps having a sit would be a good idea. So what I might do is take a ridiculously long break. So instead of having a break wherein I eat first and then do something recreational, I'm going to do something recreational and then eat, which means I can still have lunch at the normal time and have a 1 hour break, but I can start the break now. I'm going to watch some anime, then I will have lunch, and then I will write for 2 hours, and I will spend the break seated with my knee elevated. I don't think it needs to be iced. Now had a good rest. I have sat, I have deep heated my knee. I'm feeling significantly better. What concerns me a little bit is that if standing for 2 hours to do writing is going to require an hour sitting down with deep heat on my knee, 10,000 words in one day might not be doable. Like, I might just have to tap out. What I can do though is pull my chair up to said standing desk and then take the keyboard and just like put it in my lap. I can totally do that. It is something that I have done before, but the speed of writing goes down because you don't have like a steady surface. We'll worry about that later. We're just, you know, tempering expectations for the day. Alright, time to set timer. I also don't have any candy at all, like I've got nothing. I had strawberries, which I have eaten, and now that's it. I don't have chips, I don't have chocolate, I have nothing. I mean, that's fine, but also it's not. Okay. Here we go. Okay, it is 3:15. Today is not going as efficiently as I had hoped, but nonetheless, 2 hours down. We did have interruptions for the apparently habitual drink and bathroom break in the middle of the 2 hour slot. I don't know why I can't organise these things in the breaks, but fine, fine. I am at 12,115 words, which I'm quite happy about. If I wrote the expected 1600 words a day that NaNoWriMo suggests if you want to reach 50,000, if I did that for the rest of the week and then another repeat of this over the weekend, then I'd actually catch up. I'm going to try and do more today though, because let's not assume that we'll be able to write on the weekdays next week, because we didn't do it last week, did we? Oh no. Something that I'm noticing as I write this is that this is possibly not going to turn out to be quite what I imagined it was. I think I did talk about this a little bit at the beginning. I was going to write the stories behind how I have learned the various things that I have come to learn over my life. I'm finding I'm being a little bit more standing on my soapbox, telling the young folk this is what you need to do, and a little less like sitting by the fireside, gather round while I tell you a tale. I mean, a book's a book, right? That's what I'm going to tell myself. Okay, so I'm going to take a very important seated break because the soles of my feet are starting to hurt, which suggests I'm getting a little bit of inflammation there from standing too long. I am standing on like a hard plastic mat, like the ones that protect the carpet from the wheels on your chair, and under that I have two mats to protect and cushion the whole situation, but it does mean that, yeah, I'm standing on a firmish surface for quite some time, so I'm going to have a sit down. My knee feels okay, like I haven't noticed my knee, possibly just because I've been noticing my feet, which isn't ideal, I suppose. I've also noticed, I've had a couple of texts come through on my phone, so I'm going to deal with it, whatever the text is. And then I might, just for the sake of doing something, I could wash the dishes from lunch. That would probably be a productive thing to do. But I was going to say I might, given that's 3, which is usually where I'd hit a wall with this, but I'd normally also be at least one additional 2-hour block further in on a 10k day by 3 p.m. There are a lot of numbers in what I'm trying to communicate. I don't know how well it's coming across. This is normally when I'd take a substantial break on a usual 10k day in which I had started writing earlier in the day. And I don't know if I should take the break, probably because of my feet, or should I just go little break and then persevere and take a bigger break later. But if I was to start writing by, say, 3 o'clock, given that it's now 2:48, then I would be writing until 5, which I'd feel is too early for dinner. But I also wouldn't want to do another sprint. Sprint sounds wrong for 2 hours, but anyway, if I did 2 hours after that, then it would get me eating dinner at like 7:30, which isn't too late, but it's kind of getting into my maximum time period. I don't know. I'm going to have a break, and I'll make a decision. There may have to be a candy run. Getting off my feet was a very good idea. A very, very good idea. Hush fan. Also, getting a fan with a remote is the best thing ever. Like, not having to get up every time I want to adjust it is amazing. Okay, have addressed the family text messagey thing. I don't need to contribute to that conversation, that's fine. I have a few chores that I didn't actually do yesterday that I should probably attend to. Like, I have a lot of washing that is only half put away because I've got to carry it up the ladder to get it into the loft where I have my chest of drawers. I just didn't bother doing it yesterday. I think I mentioned lunch dishes. Yesterday's vacuuming actually didn't get finished because the vacuum started making like a very concerning burning smell. It was very, very hot to touch, and I suspect it was just that I had forgotten to empty it before I started, and it was just overfull with hair. But maybe it wasn't. Oh my god, okay, I keep forgetting to tell anyone this so you guys get to hear. Okay, so the other day I took some clothes to one of those like, you know, clothing donation bins, ones with like giant metal box and you pull the handle down and there's like a flat bit and you put your clothes on that and then you push it up and the clothes get like dropped into the bin. And as I was approaching it, I was, as writers do, fantasizing nonsense that's completely impossible, but you know, constantly telling myself a story. And I was thinking about what would happen and how I would react if I pulled that lever down and there was a severed human leg. And obviously that's not going to happen because when you pull the lever down it's always empty, because when you've put it up the stuff's fallen in, right? So even if someone had disposed of a body in the clothing donation bin, I wouldn't find it, unless the whole thing's really bloody, I guess I'd notice, but there's not going to be a severed limb. And also, I don't think clothing donation bins are a common body disposal site in general. I could be wrong about that. So anyway, this is the nonsense story I was telling myself as I approached the clothing donation bin, pulled the lever down, and this is what I saw. I was like, that shouldn't be. My mum's found a human limb in the river, and she sent me a photo of it going, what animal is this? I was like, I mean, I want to say human, but that seems like a dramatic answer, so maybe I'm wrong just because I'm being dramatic. It was human. It turns out that there are burials, sort of illegal burial sites, not proper cemetery sites, upstream from where she was, and basically someone had buried their loved one illegally on the bank, and then the bank had eroded and bits of loved one had ended up in the river. Fun times. Anyway, so feet hurty. This suggests, I think with the standing desk you do have to take slightly longer breaks. And this makes sense because I don't stand at it constantly if I'm working from home using my standing desk. I do spend a lot of time like seated as I am, and I'll just go into lap. Or I realise I can even type like this, that's fine. It just feels very lazy, and I don't want that to be the habit. That's not why one gets a standing desk. But I think in terms of injury accommodations that might be sensible. So I'm going to take a little break, little being like 20-30 minutes, and then I guess we'll do some more writing. So I'm at 12,115 minus 6622. Okay, so I've written 5,493 words in 4 hours. Well, combined 4 hours. with interruptions. That's not bad. But I think I can definitely do at least one more 2-hour block. Not quite 10k, but you know, hiccups and sore feet and damaged knee. I'm okay with that. That's fine. 10k days aren't always about 10,000 words. But you know, write a whole bunch day doesn't really like roll off the tongue, I guess. Anyway, okay, resty rest. It is now just after 8 p.m. I had my little bit of a sit down till my feet stopped hurting. Then I went for a tiny walk and bought some candy, which I then ate all of, and now I feel a bit icky because I definitely ate too much said candy. Then I had a nap because I was actually getting kind of like shaky tired, and caffeine doesn't fix that, so I had to have a nap. And then I started writing again, and I've done an additional 1,589 words, bringing our total up to 13,704, which is not where we need it to be if we're following the NaNoWriMo schedule, but I'm feeling good about it. What I'm going to do is maybe have a piece of fruit or something, so I didn't just have candy for dinner, because you know, theoretically that's bad. And then I'm going to do some more writing, but that's probably it in terms of today's updates. I will probably make a note of what I do this evening, and then I'll film a final update tomorrow where I'm not being like the loud neighbour talking to themselves, because you know, paper thin walls, I don't want to be that person late at night. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. It's now Monday. I thought I'd better do a final update before cutting the vlog short, because I don't think I did an outro yesterday. I think I just went, no, I'm tired now, and stopped bothering. So I think I did some more writing after I stopped filming. My final word count for yesterday was 9,075 words. Not quite the 10,000 I was hoping for, but honestly, so close, who cares? This brings my word count for the whole project as of now up to 15,697 words, which I think's pretty good. Like, it's behind, but as I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier in the vlog, if I do the sort of standard 1,600 words every day this week, and then do another dedicated writing day either Saturday or Sunday, that should probably catch me up to where I should be by this point in the project. So still behind, but not feeling hopeless about it anymore. So I'm going to call that a great success. In other news, my mossy rock is, well, still a mossy rock to be honest, but I think it might be being a little more, you still can't see it, I don't know why I'm trying to, there you go. There she is, she's in focus. I feel like she's a little perkier today, so I think the watering plan has paid off. So successes all around, really. So with that, I shall bid you adieu. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below, let me know how your nano is going, if you are participating, and I'll see you next time. Bye!